When I turn on the news, it's not the loss of human life that pulls on my heartstrings. It's not the demolished Jersey boardwalk I see on the screen from Hurricane Sandy, or footage of people standing on their roofs waving for help during a flood, or even stories of factory workers killed in Bangladesh when the building collapsed because the owner was too greedy to notice the cracks in the wall. Sad stories of children and soldiers don't bring a tear to my eye. I'm really not a cold-hearted monster. It's just that seeing years of bad news on TV has made it hard to bat an eye. We've become so inundated with these images that we've learned to expect them on the nightly news. But a few weeks ago, I saw a story on the news that I had to pause, rewind, and watch again 4 or 5 times. It was an interview with an old woman after her home had been completely flattened by the tornado in Oklahoma. As she stood in front of her house, where her house once stood, explaining how she was thrown to the floor and covered by rubble, I wasn't sad about her house or her belongings. I was sad about her dog. After she unburied herself, she said, "I hollered for my little dog, but he didn't answer." A few more seconds pass, and the interviewer suddenly spots the dog desperately clawing to free himself from the debris on top of him. The old woman digs him out. The moments that followed were some of the most powerful I've ever seen on the nightly news. Finally, the woman says, "I thought God just answered one prayer, which was to let me be okay, but he answered both of them, because this was my second prayer." Never before have I been so moved. What pulls on my heartstrings are stories like these. Why was this story so poignant to me? Because I believe in the bond between a person and their pet. People who have never owned a pet can't understand it. It's not until you've owned a pet that you can understand how meaningful that relationship can be. Since I was 4 years old and begging for a cat for my birthday, I've been lucky enough to experience such relationships. I'm not a crazy cat lady, I swear, but I don't know how I'm going to survive college and beyond without my kitty Martin. When my cat Chris died, one of the 2 kittens I got on my 4th birthday, my teacher Mr. Nakamura said one of the most comforting things I've ever heard. Even now that Mr. N has passed on, what he said will always be a wonderful reminder. He told me, sometimes losing a pet is more painful than losing a human because in the case of the pet, you are not pretending to love it.